Then I finally learned. Then I finally learned Jamie's music. You should have seen me in color.
Yeah.
And Jamie's colorblind, by the way.
Yeah.
So Jamie don't see in color. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm learning Jamie's music. I'm playing drums. I'm feeling comfortable. And then Merle Haggard, Mr. Haggard, and Willie Nelson doing a tour. And Mr. Haggard got sick, and they asked Jamie to fill in until he got better. So Jamie said, "We're gonna go out and fill in for Merle with Willie." I was like, "Cool." So we was out there. The first day of the tour, on the way to the tour, Mr. Haggard died. So when
Ah.
Jamie came to sound check, he said, "We ain't playing none of my music on this tour. I'm playing all Merle."
And TC's like, gonna play Merle say what?
I know Okie from the Skokie, and
That's about it.
Working man blues.
so and then I was up there screwing up so bad, man, trying to do it. And Jamie, a couple of times, Jamie turned around and said, "Tony Cole, man, sit this one out." And I had to sit it out, and while they play, and I'd be looking like, "Damn, boy, this is embarrassing." That happened about 5 times. So I told Jamie, I said, "Hey, Jamie, listen, I love you, bro. I'm so honored that you all allow me to play with you, and you my brother for life. But you need to get a country drummer, man, and know those classics when you want to play them. Because if you don't rehearse me and I don't know how to play that stuff, that's not fair to you, me, or the audience." He said, "Well, I guess you're right. You did look like you were trying to solve a math problem on a lot of songs." He said, "So I tell you what, when we get back to Nashville, we'll find you a blues gig." I said, "No, no, no, I don't need no blues gig. I'm good." Then the next day, Jamie called me up. "Hey, Tony Coleman, can you come by my bus? I want to show you something." And he saw me playing percussion with DB and the other drummer. He said, "I use George Strait's drummer and a rock and roll drummer with me together. And I play bugle in a drum and bugle corps, and I play cornet. Would you like to play percussion with me? Why don't you play percussion? Because people like you out here, and you ain't never seen a stage you don't love, Tony Cole, man. And people like your spirit. I like it. Would you play percussion?" I go, "Percussion? What you gonna be now? Country Santana or something?" So I got percussion, and Jamie, when he does some really, really slow, folky songs, like really acoustic, I didn't have anything to play, or I just go with a little egg or something, and I say, "Hey, Jamie, you liking this? Cause a lot of times, man, I don't really have nothing to play." "Well, you just your job. If you ain't got nothing to play, go smoke a joint, drink a beer, and come back when you feel it." I said, "No, I'll figure it out." I stayed up there the whole time and figured it out. And I told Jamie, "Well, Jamie, I'm a country percussionist, so I'm a concussionist."
That's right.
He was basically wanting you around, man. I mean, he wanted your presence, like he said. The stage loved you, the folks loved you. He was going to make something for you just so you could be a part of all of it.
It's
I love Jamie Johnson and Tom Worth for hooking me up with all of Jamie's team and all the, you know, I mean, I I was working around serious rednecks, as you could say, and that's a term of endearment. People call themselves rednecks, not meaning some of them. Yeah, they were skeptical people, and but I met people out there with Jamie that are some of my best friends today. I met some great people out there. So just goes to show you, man, music is the key to the it's the key of life, man.
Rhino was telling me the other day, we went through a list of all the folks that were trying to get on the show, and Jamie's name came up. I was looking for his management the other day, but I got sidetracked to something else. He's another one that we'd like to get on, be able to give some experience of what it's really like out there, and give some guidance to these younger artists that are coming up, trying to be some, be at the top of the game.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing that I would advise any musician today, older ones or younger ones, something BB said to me, or Blakey said to me, Bobby Bland said to me, Etta James would say, First of all, if you can't have fun up here, don't come up on my stage. You got to have fun. And if you're gonna play for those people out there. Don't play for yourself. Make those people. That's who we come here for. Those people out there. If you can't do that, don't get in this business thinking about I'm gonna get me a 3 and 4 tour buses, and that might be true, and 5 and 6 trucks, and make millions of dollars. That's possible too. But the bottom line is, if you're just doing it for that, you're in it for the wrong reason, and that's the quality of humanity that's more important than the materialistic, exciting exuberance of playing in a big level. I'm a big star. I don't want to be a star. You know what star spells backwards? That's
Rats.
what you don't want to be.
Yep. Well, they realize the same thing that James told you back in Mississippi. It's all those people out there that are making you who you are. If they're not there, there's no need for you to be there.
And that
Star spelled backwards. What is that?
Rats.
rat, yeah.
That's what you don't want to be. I ain't
Well,
no star.
that whole thing, when you were talking about people wanting to do tributes, I started to finish button up that point. The thing about it is, so many of them always rush in to do a tribute because they're trying to attach some incredible person's career, accomplishments, and name to their own name. They're trying to throw hooks in somebody's memory and legacy and milk light off of it. Instead of, to your point earlier, if people are going to go in, if I was going to do a tribute to BB or Bobby, I'm only bringing in their band. And then I'm going to bring in the people who made them smile while they were here with us. And we're going to
I mean, I'll give you an example. What happened on that first tribute I did, and Willie Nelson hooked me up with his people. Blackbird Presents. Willie did that because Willie's my friend. Me and Willie have done so many things because Willie just said to Tony, "Let's do such and such," and I said sure. And then Willie's management might get upset and go, "I don't appreciate you talking to Willie. I'm his manager or whatever." I go, "Man, that's my friend. If you're pissed off, go talk to Willie. Willie has brought that idea up." But anyway, so they agreed to bring me in to do the tribute. And then somebody else agreed to get another drummer who was more well known than me, as they thought. And then I get a phone call, Tony, you're not gonna be playing on this. We got such XYZ to be the MD because he knows XYZ. I know those people too. Well, but he's friends with XYZ. I'm not friend. I know him.
You want authenticity? Do you want authenticity, or do you want something made up here?
You try to get named people that the public don't give a damn about that. They want to get people who knew BB, who played BB music for BB, not for me. And for look who I got on here to do a BB song. You got people. That's like calling me, like I told Jamie. Why would you have me playing country and I'm funktree? We don't want funktree. We want country. Jamie want to play pure country, and that's what you need. I told him that. But no, these people are, well, I got XYZ, and then my friend named Carl Cameron, who worked for Fox News, said, if y'all try to get Tony off this show and be the MD, a producer and not the MD, and put the band together, I'll have Tony on every major TV show, morning TV show, ABC, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, and we will go on every talk show and talk about how y'all trying to screw him right now. So they end up having to have me and the other drummer. Well, you can see it. You can YouTube. He knows who I'm talking about, but it pissed me off, man. I ain't no guy that pretend to be happy when I'm not happy. I'm not that guy. I'm real. So
it wasn't.
So anyway.
It wasn't.
So anyway, the tribute. Let me just say this, tribute's supposed to be about that person, to acknowledge that person, to have some people who have some experiences with that person and some type of relationship. If God bless Willie Nelson. If something happened or don't happen to Willie Nelson, somebody wanted to do a tribute to Willie Nelson and call me just because he's my friend, man, don't call me. Call Billy English, Paul English's brother, and call Mickey Raphael. Those people. Why are you calling me? Yeah, you don't call them. Does that make sense to anybody?
The
But that's
part,
what they do because they just want to be, look at me, I'm controlling BBR. But that's all the industry, man. I just keep it real. People say keep it real. Well, I'm the keep it real man. And I like to keep things real and be real. I don't like to be phony and fake. And like I said, man, the music is what it's all about. It's not about me.
well, for me, when it comes to a tribute for BB, it is. And the reason why this is what I was going to touch on before is for you that just showed the lack of humanity and the lack of connection with the situation. Those people weren't really doing a BB King tribute. They were trying to do a marketing trick, and they were trying to set their hooks in a legendary, incredible, self-made poet, American artist, and everyone with him were contributing components to that stardust. And the thing it wasn't BB was not just the artist that you played with. It, to your words, he was like a dad. And so when you have these components to come into this, yes, now it is 100% personal. It would be different if you were just swapping out, if you're doing a tribute and you're just swapping out instrumentalists, but that's not what happened. That was actually a family member who was there through some of the greatest moments of all of it. And by removing you, they took away the authenticity of it, and they exposed the fact that they weren't truly doing it in memory of BB King. It was a marketing ploy. They were installing the fresh new faces and people that BB didn't know, or that BB may or may not have had a connection to. And to me, when you start doing that kind of thing, you're trying to get American Idol ratings, but you're damn sure not doing the whole title of it is a tribute to BB King. I know a young man right now that's doing it the right way for Waylon. He has Waylon's band with him, and they're not going out, and they are honoring Waylon Jennings in every show, and instead of using Waylon's name to try to elevate himself, he's using whatever platform he's able to get to honor someone who's passed and continue to give them flowers even though they're not here.
I love Waylon. Not to change the subject, but that was my friend, man. I love Waylon. And I'm going to share you something else that happened with me about Waylon Jennings. But I agree with everything you said, Unc. But I'm just show you how life works. So we staying at the Vanderbilt Hotel. I go downstairs and get breakfast. And when I go to get my breakfast, I see Miss Jennings sitting at the table having her breakfast. Now, I met Shooter when he was a little baby. I remember Shooter when he was a little baby. But anyway, so she's sitting there, Waylon's wife,
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse Coulter. But I said Miss Jennings, but anyway.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, so I said, how you doing, Miss Jesse? I'm Tony Coleman. She looked at me, she said, where do I know you from? I said, I'm the one that I was with BB and said, oh yeah, Howard, have a seat. I said, I don't want to disturb you. I just want to say hello. Oh, please have a seat. Join me for breakfast. So anyway, I'm sitting there. I said, yo, you sure? She said, sure. So you're in town? I said, yeah. I said, you should come to the show tonight. She said, oh, I'm leaving town today, but I'm in town doing a tribute record to Waylon. And we're going to have different artists. I said, that's awesome. And I said, I remember when Waylon used to say to me, Tony, Hoss, I'm going to make a hillbilly out you yet.
Yeah.
And she started laughing. She said, I remember him saying that to you. I said, and I said to her, and I can hear him right now. Jesse, make sure Tony get to play on my record. She said, you know what? That's a great idea. Would you like to play? I said, are you kidding me? She said, by the way, here comes the producer right now. He walked in the door. She said, let me introduce you to him. And she introduced me to him. And the first thing he said was, BB King, wow, you know Buddy Guy? I'd like to get Buddy Guy on this. And sure. And I said, you should come to the show tonight because Miss Coulter got to leave. He said, okay, I'll do it. She looked at him and said, I want Tony on the record. She says, cut out all of that crap you're saying right now. Listen to me. I want Tony to get Tony on the record. She said, okay. And the rest is history. So he called me, flew me back in town, stayed at the Vanderbilt again, brought me in a day early. He said, well, I think I'm going to introduce you. You know, it's going to be Reggie Young is going to be guitar. You know who Reggie Young is?
Yes, I do.
Reggie. And it's going to be Robbie Turner going to be the playing bass and steel. I said, I know Robbie very well. We used to rent the bus named Robbie that Miss Turner used to lease tour buses. I know Robbie. So when I get to Blackbird Studios in Nashville, the engineer guy was there and just me. He said, well, you need to pick a kid. And he said, let me ask you something. This is not a blues record. You know, this is country, don't you? I said, yeah. Well, you know, they got a lot of drummers out here that know country. I said, I know how to play Waylon songs, and the songs that he told me he wanted me to play, I know them all. I know all those songs. Well, I was just saying, you know, being condescending. I said, man, I got this. I said, I think I'll be all right. So then Dierks Bentley was going to be on the song called Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean.
Oh, yeah.
On a Greyhound bus down to New Orleans, right? So, and then they had, Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way? Are you sure Hank done it this way? Right?
Yeah.
So I'm playing the track. They put the track on. They said, can you hear the click? I said, yeah, man, but I don't need no click. I know how to set a good groove up. Say, well, why don't you play it? So they was checking me out, making sure I could play.
They're gonna audition you.
And I had sunglasses on, so I'm sitting there in the booth, in the studio, and the booth is kind of at an angle, and I'm looking at them, and I see them talking, but I see them doing like this, like, yeah, I think this guy's good. They got it. I'm like, yeah, I'll show y'all ass. Then we laid the track. Then Robbie Turner came in. Tony, TC, hey man, how you doing? Yeah, Jesse told me. They told me you was gonna do it. I said, really? He's a great drummer. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I don't know. These guys here think I don't know how to play. They said, no, you sound great. No, you're fine.
That ain't what you were saying 30 minutes ago.
Exactly. Y'all got me test running, but then Robbie and Reggie Young came in. It was just us, cause like I said, Robbie played bass, and Mr. Young, Reggie Young, played guitar, and we talked. And he played with the Highwaymen and everything. And I remember meeting him. And then Robbie played steel. And then Dierks Bentley came in and sung the song. They said, man, can we play it without the click track? It's kind of stiff. Could you just play a groove, TC? That's what Robbie Turner said. I think that sounds a lot better than trying to play with a click. I said, no problem. What tempo? He said, you know the tempo. On a Greyhound bus down in New Orleans. I'm sitting, boy, that thing was grooving. You can listen to it. And I did it. It's on that Waylon, the 2 different CDs. And I met Dierks Bentley and stuff. And everything was cool. Then I ended up getting with Jamie Johnson. And I found out later that Jamie Johnson is on that record. See how it works?
It's a small town.
It's Small
It's a
world for
small
sure.
world when you're a musician.
Well, you get all the
When you
best guys together, man. I mean, you were in that circle there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll find each other. This really is that's situation where I don't know if it's a little bit of the cream rises to the top, and it's also light recognizes light. And you've got all the people in the business and the marketing side and the label execs who aren't you. They were never able to be you. So they took that job instead to be close to where the creativity and the magic happens. And somewhere along the line, they forget which end is wagging the other. They think the tail wags the dog. And we see that so often with the situation, just like that tribute we were talking about, where they put the marketing and how they're going to pitch it, and let's have Lenny Kravitz play on the lead guitar, and let's bring in these are all might all be people that BB never met, never knew BB, and how can that truly be a tribute? If you don't involve the people who were there when it was born, the songs were created and the songs were recorded and all that stuff. And the people who know, they remember the stories because they lived it, going down there and playing on the little ricket mezzanine stages down there that had the grass growing up and the snakes running by, and the real point of origin of where it all was born. Those people who
And see
don't,
here,
they don't know nothing about the crossroads. So how
no.
can how, how can they come in and play like they've been on the gravel if they don't know nothing about the crossroads?
And here's the thing: a lot of these folks that are out here making millions of dollars out here rolling and being promoted and highlighted. I knew them when they were little kids out here opening for us, and like I said, it was a request of BB to me to make them feel at home,
Yep.
because I can tell you something. A lot of those guys, the older guys, some of the older black guys that grew up playing blues music all their lives, they didn't want to see those young white kids out there with us.
Yeah, it worked both ways. That used to happen a lot.
Uh, Hold on, I lost you. Somebody tried to call. I'm back. So a lot of those older guys, can you see me? Can you hear me?
I
Yeah,
can
you
I can
froze
hear you,
up.
but I can hear you, but
I froze for a minute.
your video is frozen. I can hear you though.
Well, hold on a minute. Let me get back.
Stop the recording, Rob, so we can clean it
Oh
up.
yeah, hang on. Go ahead.
So when BB has some of those younger guys that are out here doing this thing on the show with touring with us, some of the older black guys has been playing blues all their life, grow up black, playing blues and black joints and black music and doing this. They didn't necessarily want to see these young white kids out there with us. They wanted to know where the older black cats, where our friends at. But BB was like, "Whoa, wait a minute now. They don't. These young people. We got to show them the way. That's treat them good. Be nice." So when I got with Jamie and when I walked in that studio, I know those guys were looking at me saying, "Well, this is a black guy from BB King. What does he know about country music?" And when I was with Jamie, a few people in Jamie's band, they know who they are. They didn't want me to be in Jamie's band. It was like, what the hell, Jamie got a black blues guy playing with us? And we're like pure country. What the hell he knows about country? I didn't know anything, but Jamie was like, he'll learn, and I like him. I like his spirit, and he can play, and I like the vibe. So he's in. So Jamie gave a couple of speeches to a couple of people one time. This is my band, and if anybody don't like who I put in my band, you need to go get your own band. So my whole thing is, man, I've always been about that, man. Always be welcome and be inclusive. But a lot of people that we treated that way, they don't have that. But that's the way it is. But guess what? I ain't looking back. I'm moving forward. I look back to just appreciate where I came from and what I've done, and that's about it. But I don't have a fat head. But I'm just a no nonsense guy, man. I ain't about getting high. I ain't about drugs, and I ain't about all that. I'm about having a good damn time on stage to play music and just know
This
that I got my integrity.
the sad part it is we don't always get treated the way we treat other folks, and that's bad. That's a bad part. I mean, I'm a good guy. I can tell you're a stand up guy. You're good. I know Rhino's a good guy, but because of the way we treat people, we would kind of like to get treated the same way, but it just don't happen that way all the time. So,
But
Mr.
listen,
Coleman,
guys,
yeah, we got about 10
we got to
minutes.
do this again. We
Well,
got
we
to
got
do this again. But the bottom line is, man, thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for having me on here to tell my little stuff. And I appreciate you guys. And we brothers from now on. We brothers. So
Absolutely. What I always do to the artists when they come on, I always end an interview with any song that what song you would like me to play of Tony Coleman, and that is the song that we will play here at the end of this interview. We'll edit it in. Any song, it doesn't matter.
well, my play my song off of my the latest thing I did is called "The Blues Had a Baby," and I want people to listen to that and have a party. That's my party song, but it's like it's a Tony Coleman the way I feel about
Give
life
it,
and music. And
just give us a quick rundown back.
say again.
Just give us a quick backstory on that, and then we'll get into it.
Well, I know a lot of people like to continue to do the same kind of blues songs that were here forever, the Sweet Home Chicago and all the old stuff. And I get it. And I appreciate people who do that. That's good. But I also know that in order to reach a different generation, you have to live in the generation you live in and be able to do both things. And that way you can teach people, but you can also reach people by being able to adapt to what they're doing. So I don't have no problem with rap or anything, but it's just about reaching the younger group or next generation and saying, hey, I got this to mix with what you got and show you that it's fun and you can have a good time and it's all good. We just keep, teaching and reaching and bringing people together through our music. But all music, if it's done with the right attitude and the right spirit, is good music. And that's what I try to do with that song, to make it more about a party vibe. Everything ain't got to be about my baby to love me.
My dog done died. Doom, doom, doom. What is the name of the song one more time, my man? He doesn't have the setting. He doesn't have the setting for music. There's a special setting in Zoom. You got to set up for music. Tell us the name of that song one more time. There you go. There you go.
Like I'm gonna go.
Hey Rhino, I think
cool, man,
I think this guy would be a heck of a guy at a party, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. He
Come
brings
on,
he is
y'all.
the
Let's party. Let's bring the music. Let the music bring us together, man. Come on, let's stop all this nonsense. People's got that smoke and mirrors crap to try to control us with a bunch of negativity. That's out. Let's go. Keep it moving.
Tony, appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for taking time out of your day to hang out with us. We'll get you in here again in another 3 months, and we'll get together. Tell us the name of that song one more time.
The Blues Had a Baby.
Right here on the Uncle Show. Appreciate you, Tony.
Appreciate you.
That's what I'm talking about.